cold cases aren't supposed to come back to life. After 10 long years, evidence fades, memories blur, and hope quietly slips away. But in Mesa, Arizona, a kidnapping mystery that had haunted an entire community for a decade was suddenly shaken awake, not by a new witness, not by new technology, but by a single dollar bill. Imagine this. You're sorting through crumpled bills collected from a Girl Scout cookie fundraiser. Nothing unusual until you spot $1 with strange handwriting crawling along its edges. You bring it closer, and your heart stops. My name is Mikelle Biggs, kidnapped from Mesa, AZ. I'm alive. A message so chilling, so specific, it rips open a case investigators believed had gone ice cold forever. Because 10 years earlier, one-year-old Mikelle Biggs vanished in only 90 seconds, her bike still spinning in the street, coins scattered on the pavement, and no trace of her ever again. Thousands of tips led nowhere. Hundreds of interviews brought no answers. Her family clung to hope, but the world moved on. Until now, this single dollar bill, traveling 1,500 miles across the country, would reignite the entire investigation and raise one terrifying question. Was Mikelle really still out there alive? But before we start, can we get 1,000 likes for this video? Smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming stories. Authorities say you have about 48 hours to find a missing or kidnapped person before the task becomes more difficult. That's because, after 2 days, perpetrators typically have plenty of time to wrap up their crimes, cover their tracks, and flee the scene. But in Mesa, Arizona, the missing persons case broke all the rules. After a decade with no results, investigators had long declared the case of a kidnapped girl ice cold. But when an anonymous man found a shocking tip amidst a collection of cash donations to his local Girl Scouts troop, investigators wondered if the kidnapper might actually still be out there and if they had a real shot of finding him. On January 2, 1999, one-year-old Mikelle Biggs was pedaling her bike in circles just 4 houses down from where she lived with her parents and 3 siblings in Mesa, Arizona. Clutching several quarters in her hands, she eagerly awaited the ice cream truck. Then, just 90 seconds after her younger sister, Kimber, had last seen her, Mikelle was suddenly gone. Her bike laid in the middle of the road, tires still spinning, and the quarters she'd held were scattered across the asphalt. With no sign of her daughter anywhere, Mikelle's mother, Tracy Biggs, desperately called the police. Immediate evidence suggested she was running from somebody, said Detective Jerry Giss. It wasn't somebody that she knew or wanted to be with. And so began one of the most intensive investigations ever conducted by the Mesa Police Department. National news aggressively covered the disappearance of the 6th grade honor student who aspired to be a Disney animator. The night Mikelle disappeared, investigators set up roadblocks and interviewed passing motorists. Meanwhile, authorities posted flyers with her class photo all over Mesa. That was only the beginning. In the following weeks, investigators consulted psychics on the whereabouts of the one-year-old girl. They even tracked down and questioned every single ice cream vendor in the state. Unfortunately, no meaningful evidence turned up. Investigators looked close to home, too. Just 2 blocks from the Biggs family home lived a man with a criminal record that included child molestation. Nothing the authorities found, however, indicated he'd been involved in Mikelle's disappearance. From there, investigators interviewed 20 sex offenders in the region that also proved to be a dead end. Leaving no stone unturned, authorities even suspected Mikelle's father, Darian, but he, too, ended up with a cleared name. Years passed. Despite receiving 10,000 tips from the public, conducting 500 interviews, collecting 800 pieces of evidence, and searching 35 abandoned Santan Mountain mine shafts, investigators couldn't find Mikelle. The case had officially gone cold. Fast forward to 2009, 10 years after Mikelle's initial disappearance, and investigators in Mesa received yet another tip. This one, however, didn't come from an Arizona resident. Strangely, it came from 1,500 miles away in Neenah, Wisconsin. On March 14, 2009, a man had walked into the lobby of the Neenah Police Department and handed over a dollar bill he'd found in a collection of money for Girl Scout cookies. Neenah Police Chief Kevin Wilkinson said, "The dollar was far from ordinary. Written along its perimeter in scratchy, childish handwriting was a simple message. My name is Mikelle Sick, Biggs kidnapped from Mesa, AZ. I'm alive." This discovery was a revelation for investigators. There were discrepancies with the bill, however, and Chief Wilkinson noted them despite not having known about the original 2009 case. The oddity in the note, he said, is that her first name is spelled wrong. It would sway you to believe that it might not be legitimate. But other evidence suggested it was worth following up. Why would you pick that, Chief Wilkinson wondered, a case that's nearly 20 years old? It's somebody who knew something about that case. For that reason, the dollar bill was too crucial to ignore. We don't get a lot of tips anymore, Mesa Detective Steve Barry said, but we occasionally do. We always follow up on it. We always hope that might be the one that breaks the case. Would it be? Unfortunately, optimism wasn't high with investigators. There was a little spring of hope for a second, and then reality set in. Nina Detective Adam Stroibel added, "There is nothing you can do with the evidence, which is rather frustrating. Collecting fingerprints on the bill would have been useless. The bill could have changed hands hundreds of times. Still, the handwriting could be matched if they had other meaningful evidence to compare it to." But what did the family think of this too-late discovery? Kimber Biggs, who'd held onto her sister's red teddy bear for decades, tried analyzing the handwriting on the bill until it made her sick, thinking about the fate of her sister. Mikelle would have been 30 by that point. Is the bill a hoax? Kimber asked. Did someone play a cruel joke? She suspected so. The fact that her name was spelled wrong on the bill is kind of discredited. I don't think that would be something she'd do. Regardless, as of 2018, the Biggs family remained committed to finding out the fate of their beloved Mikelle. "Someone knows something," Kimber said, "and someday we will have answers." Kimber hoped the public's focus on the dollar would bring renewed interest in her sister's case. She promised to discover Mikelle's ultimate fate no matter how long it took. Share this chilling cold case evidence with your friends below.